Hey YouTube, man, it's your boy Kari back with a new video, man. Today topic, what we're gonna talk about, the reason why you should be comfortable being alone, because you need to figure out yourself. If you don't have your shit together, if life not going the way that you want to, you need to be alone. You don't need no girl or trying to seek for some type of girl validation. No, you don't need no girl. You need to be alone. You need to be comfortable of being alone. You feel me? You have to be alone. You feel me? I was at the gym, you know how like you go to the gym before you work out, you gotta like check in or whatever like that with the keypad or whatever like that, you feel me? And the front, it's a girl, it's a woman that I've been talking to, you know, she's cool as hell. She know about my life. I know parts of her life. She cool with my homeboys. I look up to her like a second mama or third mama or whatever like that. She like 36 to 40 years old, somewhere around like that corner. You know, she's very nice and she's very cool and she keep it real with you. I was telling her how like I wanted an older woman or whatever like that. You know, I told her like how I want an older woman. And I been like, damn, you know, like some of these women at the gym, you know, especially the older ones be looking good or whatever like that. And she was like, I understand what you want, but she was just keeping it real with me. She was just like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to, you know, say anything, you know, bad, but if you don't have your stuff together, how do you expect an older woman to mess with you? Like, you got to get out of that mindset. Like, most of the older women are gonna be wanting the guy that have his shit together, you feel me? And she was like, I'm trying to not be funny, but you don't really have your shit together. Like, you working 9 to 5, you know, like it's gonna work for a young girl, but we talking older women stages, it's not gonna work. You need to have some point of your life together. You have to have something going on, you feel me? Like, she don't know I do YouTube. She don't know that I do digital marketing, you feel me? And I haven't told her that. I got that going on, but it haven't been like, oh, popping to the point where it's just like, okay, you know, like I can quit my 9 to 5. It haven't come to the point where it's that popping or whatever like that. And I'm just trying to say, like, you have to have your shit together, because when you've been trying to go with these older women, when you be trying to go with a woman, period, they not gonna go for that. You feel me? They not gonna go for that. And she was just telling me how, like, you know, you gotta have your shit together. Like, you not staying at your own crib, you staying with your grandma, they ain't gonna go for that. They ain't. I was like, damn, you feel me? Like, I do love these older women, you know? And it's just a simple fact, like, I understand, like, you know, I gotta low-key have my shit together if I want to do the things that I want to. And I always wanted my own crib. I wanted my own place, you feel me? I want to be to the point where if I have my own crib, I can just invite somebody over or whatever like that. Or I can kick them out, you feel me, if I don't want them to be here or whatever like that. And it's just a simple fact. I had come to the point where I'm comfortable being alone and finding myself, because if I want somebody or whatever like that, I do have to have my own crib, my own place. Like, I don't feel comfortable trying to invite somebody over knowing I stay with my grandmama. And most of the girls that I have linked with in the past or whatever like that have all been in the car. You know, every single girl have been towards the car. We going to a certain parking lot, we linking up, we hanging out. And at some point, that shit's get old, because it get cold as hell, bro. It gets super cold. You feel me? Then you already wasting your gas and all that when you turn the heater on. Like, bro, it's just so much to it. So it just come to the point where it's just like, yeah, I been wanting my own crib. I been wanting my own space. And I got enough respect to not bring women over my, like, people's house. You feel me? Like, I remember my mama, she used to ask me, she used to be like, you know, like, how come you don't bring these, like, girls over your house? You feel me? I only brought, like, 1 or 2 girls over there. You feel me? And I don't want to get to the point where it's just like, I'm bringing so many girls and it's just disrespecting. Now it's just disrespecting. Now you just bringing women over here, and over that. I feel like as you get older, you start to have, like, even more respect for your people to not do something like that. Like, you starting to have respect for yourself. You like, bro, I gotta have my own shit. You feel me? Like, when I be linking with certain girls, I be like, bro, I gotta have my own. I gotta get my life together. Like, what the hell am I doing? You feel me? So it just, you have to be comfortable or being by yourself so you can find yourself out. If you not in shape, you need to get in shape, you know? And I can't even be talking, because today I fucked up and ate some cookies. You feel me? All because I wasn't, like, I was just frustrated at the moment. I was frustrated. Guess what I ran? I ran to the foods. I ran to the unhealthy foods. I was eating bad. I was eating wrong. I ain't perfect. You feel me? But I'm very self-aware of what I'm doing. If I were in a relationship and that shit happened, I probably wouldn't be self-aware. And I'd be fat as fuck. But since me just being alone and just finding myself, I'm self-aware what's going on. I know what the hell I was doing. I knew that I ate some bad foods because I was just frustrated by something. You know, something just wasn't sitting right with me, wasn't going right. I was frustrated, so what I did, I ate some bad foods. You feel me? And I'm very self-aware. You know, I'm very self-aware what's going on, and it just comes to the point where you have to be by yourself. You gotta be comfortable alone to be by yourself, for you not need somebody. And if you trying to conquer lust and things of that nature, bro, you definitely got to be by yourself. You feel me? You can't just be dependent on a girl. And there's sometimes, bro, there be times where I get out of work, right? I get out of my shift, and I be wanting, I want to hang out with a girl because I be so damn horny. You know? I be so horny, I'm like, damn, let me go get a girl. Let me go get a girl. Let me get a girl. Let me get a girl. But not knowing me just being horny can harm me. That girl can set me up. That girl can do something to me. Or it just might not be a good night and something bad happened. You feel me? I ain't thinking like that, you know? But for me, just being alone, like just being alone and shit like that, I'm very self-aware of what I'm doing. So you got to be self-aware, you feel me? How you expect to go have a girl when you ain't got your shit together? When you stay with your grandma crib, when you not making the money that you always wanted to make. I'm not saying you got to have everything to fucking together. You ain't got to be perfect, but at least have something, you feel me? And I'm talking about myself too, you feel me? Like, if I'm trying to get my own crib and I want to be able to spend time with a girl, and I got to get that shit, you feel me? I got to work my heart off. I got to work my ass off. But this just ain't about having a girl. This is more how about having control over your life, you know? That's what it's about, having control of your life. Doing the things that you want to, that you always desired to do, you know? Having control and you being in control of your life. That's what it's about. You being disciplined. You saying no. You don't have to say yes all the time. That's what it's about when trying to be alone. Because when you try to not be alone or whatever like that, when you try not to be alone, you're going to be hitting up a girl. She might not be your type. Y'all might end up doing it. You might end up getting her pregnant. You feel me? Or you might be bringing a girl over to your parents' house and it just might not go right and all chaos happens. A lot of shit can happen. You feel me? So you got to be comfortable being alone and finding yourself, working towards your purpose. Every single day, you have to work towards your purpose. And that's with me. Like, man, I'm working towards my purpose. I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to better my life. I'm really trying to turn up for real, you know? Like, locking in, trying to get right, getting closer with God. That's what it's about. And you need to be comfortable being alone so you can be able to get the results that you always wanted. But you have to be comfortable being alone. You have to be alone. No, I feel like some of my guys, we want to quick instant access. As soon as we get horny, we want a girl. You know, there's just certain stuff that we want. We want it so fast. There's sometimes we can't be by ourselves, but we have to practice that. You gotta practice that, being by yourself. You can't be one of the ones who's seeking validation for a female. That gotta stop. That's gotta stop. And I was the same way. I had multiple dating outs because I was seeking validation over females just to see if I still got it. You got to stop seeking validation for females. You got to work on yourself and improve yourself. Don't matter how hard it get, you have to improve yourself. Because the times you try to seek validation for a female, when you try to put a female first, when you try to do things just because of a female approval, it will always get backfired. It will never go the way that you always wanted to go. It will never go as planned. At least have some type of motion going on, have your shit together before you even think about trying to get a girl, you know? Just at least have something going on, you feel me? That's what I believe in, you know? Like me, you know, I ain't got my own damn apartment yet. You know, I stay with grandmamas, you know? I stay with grandmamas, you feel me? And I know, like, if I want to get to my goals, bro, I really got a lot to fuck in, you feel me? Even the woman told me that, you know? She older than me. She was like, I'm not trying to be funny, but no woman's gonna deal with you. Like, when you don't have your shit together. As in, like, you know, you ain't got your own apartment, whatever, like that. Like, looks, yes, I can get past that. Okay, I get it. But we talking about the real shit. You feel me? Looks, yes, hell yeah, that's matter. But when they're talking to an older woman, it's a whole different league, you know? Of course, I'm gonna take advice from her because she's older than me, you feel me? She's been in the game, you know? I'm gonna take advice from her, of course. But when you trying to talk to certain women, whatever like that, you gotta have your shit together. And you're not doing this just because of woman, like I said. You're doing this to have control over your life. You feel me? just to have shit going on for yourself. Something that you work very hard for every single day. That's what it's about. But that's the end of the video. I hope you like it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and be safe. I'm back out with more.